Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We will now begin our ceremony.
Group halt. Left face.
Will you please stand if you are able for the presentation of the flags, followed by the singing of the national anthem by Correctional Officer Bree Valdez of the Marble Valley Regional Correctional Facility.
Left face. Carry colors. Present arms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing us that star-spangled banner yet wave, o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave.
Order arms. Order colors. Detail face. Forward march. Detail halt. Ready face. Post colors. Ready to left face. Forward march. Forward march.
Thank you. Please take your seats. Good morning. My name is Nick Fortier, Deputy Director of the Office of Professional Standards and Compliance with the Department of Corrections, and I would like to welcome you to the 172nd Vermont Correctional Academy class graduation. I want to thank you all for coming and showing your support to our graduates today. I'd first like to introduce the panel seated on the stage at this time. Agency of Human Services Deputy Director Todd Delos, Commissioner of Corrections Nicholas Demmel, Chief of Operations Al Cormier, and Facilities Operations Manager Travis Denton. Today culminates 6 weeks of training for these 33 new correctional officers. Through their last 6 weeks, they have been challenged academically, physically, and intellectually. The Vermont Correctional Academy is an intensive 6-week program which tests individuals through a mixture of classroom instruction, practical exercise, and intense social interaction. Today, these new corrections professionals stand ready to not only join the ranks of the Vermont Department of Corrections, but also to serve the citizens of Vermont. Today could not have happened without the selfless service of the superintendents, managers, and staff who made today possible. These new correctional officers are prepared to begin their new career with the Department of Corrections, and I would like to thank the trainers, administrators, and other support staff that dedicated their time and effort to making today a reality. There have been many achievements in the last 6 weeks for these new officers. Some of those achievements are unique goals to their own. Some achievements are defined in the team they have become. While these achievements are defined in their various ways, we would like to recognize some of those achievements with an award presentation. The first award is the Outstanding Leadership Award. The recipient of this award is nominated by their peers for displaying outstanding leadership and professionalism during the academy. The recipient of the 172nd Outstanding Leadership Award is Connor O'Neill of the Northeast Correctional Complex. The next award is the Class Valedictorian Award. The Class Valedictorian Award is awarded to the graduate who has the highest GPA over the 6 weeks of training. With a GPA of 98.6, the 172nd Class Valedictorian is Ethan Buckman of Southern State Correctional. The final award is the Class Speaker Award. The Class Speaker, as chosen by their peers, has been chosen to speak for the class. The 172nd Class Speaker is Cheyenne Christ of the Northern State Correctional Facility.
Good morning. Good morning, staff, family, friends, and graduates. It's my pleasure to present our graduating class of the 172nd Vermont Correctional Academy. The energy filling this space as we have closed one chapter of our lives to begin our careers as professional correctional officers is invigorating. We stand ready to serve the community and the Vermont Department of Corrections with a very special thank you to all the instructors that devoted their time to guide and train us throughout the past 6 weeks. Corrections is founded on the belief that everyone has the ability to change and make a better life for themselves. Well, for myself and for the graduates you see before you today, this was our first step in creating a change for the better. As Nelson Mandela said, there is no passion to be found in playing small and settling for a life less than the one you are capable of living. Together as a team, we chose values that were important to us and our success, not only in our careers and corrections, but in life. The values we chose were honesty, integrity, and commitment. Honesty is the quality of being truthful. Honesty is not only a core value within our class, but also a value that pertains to life, and more specifically, the Vermont Department of Corrections. As we serve, we will strive to maintain trust with the public, with our colleagues, and with the individuals we supervise. Integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. Corrections serves to supervise and guide people who have reached a low point in their lives. They're still human, and they still deserve respect and available resources to change. This is where we as professional correctional officers have to uphold this value and maintain our integrity. As Martin Luther King Jr. said, the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. When you make a commitment, you create hope. Each one of us made a commitment to ourselves and to each other, to our loved ones, and to the Vermont Department of Corrections. From the very moment we applied and began shadowing other officers, then training at the academy, to this very day, we never gave up, and we withstood several new trials and tribulations together. We came here as complete strangers and continued our commitment as teammates, and as we grew, we became friends. We guided and supported each other, and as a team, we rose to every occasion. And now we sit before you today as graduates of the 172nd Vermont Correctional Academy. Graduation is, however, not the end goal. Life is a journey, and all the accomplishments we achieve during its course should be taken as starting points for further achievements. There will be times when each of us will think they are alone, with a back against the wall, but we are not alone. We are all in this journey together. We made it this far, why should we back out now? With that being said, a very special thank you to all the loved ones who supported us thus far and will continue to support us within our careers. Thank you to all the instructors who took the time to instruct and guide us throughout these past 6 weeks, and thank you all for attending our graduation.
Thank you, Jillian. I would now like to introduce the Commissioner of Corrections, Nicholas Dillon.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Graduates of the 172nd Academy class, distinguished guests, family, friends, fellow GOC staff members, Secretary Delos. It's an honor to be here with you today on this occasion. My name is Nick Demmel. I'm the Commissioner of the Vermont Department of Corrections. It's customary for speakers on occasions such as this to detail the significance of a graduation. It's as much a beginning as it is an end. This beginning takes on particular significance because not only will you receive your certificates today, but Monday you start a career of service, of sacrifice, of honor. Most in our society will never experience and will little understand the full measure of commitment that a career in corrections requires. And every effort that we make to explain it to them is similarly weak and fruitless. Instead, you join the ranks of solemn professionals, working in service above self, eagerly embracing a varied and demanding lifestyle where our successes are not celebrated and our failures crash down with tremendous fury. On my desk in the central office, I have a small wooden plaque that reads, "Hard things are hard." There's 2 lessons I take away from this plaque. One, that hard things require extra energy, extra commitment, extra pain, and that's what makes them hard. And 2, that the hard things are the things worth doing, even against long odds in tough situations. They enable us to prove to ourselves who we truly are, sometimes who we want to be. They stretch us, push us outside our comfort zone, and they force us to grow. The job you're about to begin is a hard one. Every job in this department is hard. That's how I know it's where I wanted to be when I came to the department. and I'm really glad that you all have joined me here. I want the challenge because the challenge enables me to become the best that I can be. And you'll find as you go through this career, there are constant challenges. But in challenge lies the opportunity. This career affords you a unique opportunity for service, a unique demonstration of our commitment to our communities, and a career of honor and personal fulfillment. Some of you today will thrive in the business of security, master the trade craft of being a corrections officer, and seek out opportunities to rise through the ranks of our facilities. Hopefully, after you've refined your skills and learned the intangible and unteachable lessons of corrections, you'll ascend to become a superintendent. Others still, through choice or circumstance, will flourish in a number of different roles in the department. First as a CEO, but then perhaps as a probation officer, as a policy formulator, as any number of the diverse and interesting jobs that this department has to offer you. With that experience, you'll speak at the legislature on the corrections best practice, the delivery of service that we provide to our communities, and how Vermont's approach to this problem can be on the cutting edge. And I hope all of you will come to understand the immense value that this career offers. I hope you'll find personal value in your work. I know that you will add value to another person's life, tens of people, hundreds of people, and if you stay long enough, thousands of people in our communities. This is what one author calls a virtuous circle, where your action creates momentum and establishes an upward spiral of positive activity. What I mean is, if you do this job right, you will be fulfilled and you will add immense value to your community. And you're joining us at a critical juncture. As we stabilize our system after a once-in-a-lifetime public health emergency, as we modernize and invent the next era in the practice of corrections, as we build a new, more nimble, forward-facing department to better serve our state and its people. The 172nd Academy class is our first to graduate after the department announced its new mission, vision, and value statements. So today, you enter a department with a fresh perspective on its work and an abiding interest in determining and designing our future, not simply receiving our fate. It's a department committed to deeply ensuring we promote equity by identifying and dismantling systemic barriers to fair and impartial decision-making. A department of integrity where individually and collectively we're held accountable for acting in accordance with our bedrock values. And a department poised to lead the nation in the practice of corrections. Together as one team with one mission and a shared set of principles, we can create safety and equity by seeing potential, supporting change, and serving our communities. You're joining us at a perfect time to have an outsized impact on this work. To that point, so far you've done all the hard work and it got you here to graduation. So, in return, we'll make you the following promises. This department will always treat you with dignity and respect. We will invest in your careers and in you as individuals. We'll do this by creating individual professional development plans to get you where you want to go in your career. We'll regularly evaluate your performance and identify areas of strength and areas for improvement to help you to become the best that you can be. We'll increase professional development training, and we'll set up opportunities for you to seek out all that you want to achieve in your career. I will personally do everything that I can to enable this success. We'll also recognize you as human beings with human needs and support your whole life, not just the life inside our walls. A career in corrections is not just a job, it is a lifestyle. And so this department will commit itself to supporting your whole life from paying benefits to personal wellness and career building. And this final promise will protect you. As I've said repeatedly throughout my tenure as commissioner, as long as you act in good faith and demonstrate the integrity that your speaker just spoke about, we will always have your back. Everybody makes mistakes, some of us more often than not. What defines us is whether we own those mistakes, learn from them, improve for the future, and don't do it again. So my charge to you is do not be afraid to try. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, but never fail to admit when you did, and that's the integrity that we need in this department. So let me close with this. To the family and friends here in the audience and those who could not be with us today, you should be very proud of what the graduates accomplished over these last 6 weeks. More importantly, you should be proud of what they accomplish every day in their careers going forward. The men and women sitting here are public servants in the truest sense of the phrase, and in this career, they will need your love, your care, and your support. I know firsthand what it means to serve in some difficult situations, and in those moments, those toughest moments, you turn first to your family and your friends. And so I ask that you please support them and love them as you have to this point, because they will need it now more than ever. And this department will be there to support them and you on that journey. So thank you, graduates, for stepping up and answering the call to service. Thank you to our family and friends for your support. You're all about to embark on a pretty amazing journey, and this is only the beginning. Congratulations and welcome to the Vermont Department of Corrections.
Thank you, Commissioner. I would now like to introduce Deputy Secretary Todd Palos.
Let's just take a minute. As it begins, I think it's really important for you all, you 33, to just take one moment and reflect on what you got here and what lies ahead. As you embark, I want to begin. I should introduce myself. My name's Todd. I'm the Deputy Secretary of the Agency of Human Services. And for folks who don't know, the Department of Corrections sits in a much broader agency in the state government. I'll get to that in a little bit, but I want to start by just saying thank you for being here today. It's the time of year, especially with a lot of activity at the neighboring building, the legislature, where I spent a lot of my time thinking about words. A lot of political words out there, a lot of statutory words. And I'm a lawyer by training, so I was interested enough in words to spend 3 years working on how to use words. And I want to spend a little time with you all today talking about words. I get it. It's weird. But I want to look at language because language, first and foremost, is one of our most important tools. And I want to talk really about 2 phrases that kind of bring us together. The first is kind of how I let in, right? Thank you for being here today. It's kind of a simple phrase. It's kind of a throwaway phrase. But if we think about what it means to thank someone, I think there are 2 really important concepts that are vitally valuable today and going forward in your career at the Department of Corrections. Thank you is a line we use all the time. You're getting change at the grocery store. You're saying goodbye to someone. You're ending a phone call. It's hopefully how you were raised. It's certainly how my parents tried to raise me. And I went in to dig a little bit at this word, this phrase that we use all the time. And there were 2 core concepts behind the words thank you, the phrase thank you. The first is a demonstration of gratitude, to be grateful. Another phrase that I think we use all the time, but maybe don't dig enough into. Gratitude, at least in some definitions, is to be full of thanks. It is an attitude of appreciation, an attitude of gratefulness. And I think when we step into a life of service, as you all have, that is an animating feature of that life of service. That we are seeking to be full and grateful. The other concept in thank you is appreciation. Appreciation is one of my favorite words because, again, it's a word we use all the time without digging into what it really means. And I think one definition of appreciation is a recognition of the full worth of something. And as you step into these careers, as the commissioner has laid out very clearly, this is a department, an agency, and a state that is appreciating you. And today, some of you won awards for the tremendous work and dedication you've shown. And we are recognizing you as a class's full worth today and anticipating the value you will bring to your jobs going forward. Appreciation also means understanding a situation fully. You've gone through weeks now of training, and you'll begin in a career where understanding a situation fully is vitally important. Your training and building upon that, your experience, will help you assess very challenging situations, day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute. And I think it's important to appreciate that training, appreciate your colleagues who will be there with you, and appreciate the work that you'll be doing around. The last definition of appreciation is actually my favorite one, which again is weird. We recognize appreciation as something growing and rising in value. And a graduation is a moment to appreciate a tremendous achievement. That you yourselves have recognized your own value in this moment, have invested in yourself to go forward, and are now being appreciated, and in fact appreciating, for the work you've done and the work you will do ahead. So that's how I think of the word thank you, or the phrase thank you. The other half of that throwaway line, I think, is a little bit softer for me, but thank you for being here today. That notion of being here today sounds casual, sounds passive, as though you're walking by, and you're like, well, I'll just wander into the pavilion and see what happens today. Of course, that's not what happened today. Today is the culmination of weeks of hard work, possibly months or years of preparation, and a true appreciation of the work you're going to have ahead of you. You didn't just show up. And through your work together, you've held yourselves accountable for the work you've done, you've held your teammates accountable, and you've continued to support and work with one another to fulfill this potential. I think it's really important right now to take another moment in that space of appreciation and being here today. And I just ask the 33 of you to quietly take another moment, either in your mind or it's fine to stand up. I think I can say that. It's fine to stand up and turn around and pick somebody out in the crowd to appreciate the folks who have helped get you here today. And the folks who will stand by you on Monday, on Tuesday, in a year, and in several years. So just take a moment, stand up and or sit quietly, I'll leave it up to you. And just appreciate these folks who are behind you, literally and figuratively, and will be there for the next few years. Go ahead if you want to. It's okay. You want me to do it?
First of all,
Like, thanks, Chris. Appreciate that. You guys are doing great. That's all. It's okay. They're really important, right? To the parents and the families and the friends, your future colleagues, your educators around you, right? They're part of this process. And that doesn't end today. That grows from today. And I think it's really important. You've done great work to this moment and should be immensely proud of this. They are immensely proud of you. I think the longer you have an opportunity to serve in this capacity, the longer you have to learn and grow in this capacity and fill yourself with this work, truly the more I think you will dedicate yourself to this work. I stand here and appreciate what you have done, the commitment you've shown, the choices you've made, and I thank you for being here. So that was the first phrase. I know you just finished the school thing and now I'm just like droning on with more words. This will be faster, I promise. So the second phrase is one that you may never encounter, but actually surrounds a lot of what you do. When an individual works their way through the justice system, at some point along their journey, if they are adjudged guilty, they will be committed to the care and custody of the Department of Corrections and its commissioner. Again, a phrase that appears all the time, and one that we don't think a lot about. Now, I'm not going to break down all the words about what remand means and care and custody. I really just want to talk about care. In part because you are now part of the Agency of Human Services family. And beyond the Department of Corrections, this also includes our Department of Health, which folks may be somewhat familiar with over the last 3 years, our Department of Mental Health, our Department of Disabilities, Aging and Independent Living, our Medicaid department, the Department of Vermont Health Access, that provides access to healthcare for hundreds of thousands of Vermonters. And I always am going to forget one more, Children and Families, thank you, Nick. And our Department for Children and Families, which of course is vitally important in both supporting our families and supporting the children here. I say that because care is central to our mission as an agency and central to our goals as employees. So again, I wasn't going to just run through what I think care means. I wanted to go to a real source. So I went to the Oxford English Dictionary, or to be more honest, Google. But that's where Google said I went. So I found these definitions of care really interesting and valuable for, I think, this group. First, the first definition of care was the provision of what is necessary for health, welfare, maintenance, and protection. Care is a form of safekeeping. You have trained now in how to provide care. You have experienced as a group and will continue to grow and experience in your new teams at the facilities where you will work, and eventually, potentially in the field and beyond, what it means to keep people safe. First and foremost, you'll be keeping yourselves safe, you and your team and your colleagues. But beyond that, it's vitally important to recognize you are the caregivers to the individuals in your custody. They are mothers and fathers and sons and daughters. They are children, they are parents, they are grandparents. Whatever the circumstances that brought them into our care and custody, we treat them as we would keeping them safe and giving them care. And that is a vitally important part of the mission of the Department of Corrections and the Agency of Human Services. The second definition of care, I think, is equally applicable to where you stand today. It was defined as serious attention or consideration applied to doing something correctly to avoid damage or risk. I think that applies incredibly well to the dangerous and difficult work of our corrections department. Doing something correctly is essential to how you operate within a facility, how you are expected to operate within an organization, and how we work with our incarcerated population to transition back into society. We want to always avoid damage or risk. You will find yourselves in risky and dangerous situations. Your training, your experience, your teammates, your leaders will help you through those dangerous and difficult situations. They will keep you safe, and they will bring the appropriate consideration to the circumstance for the best outcome. And that's where you stand today, a tremendous outcome, an opportunity to step forward into a very fulfilling career, a very hard career, but one where I look across this stage and see individuals who have spent a good amount of time in corrections and done truly amazing work. As the commissioner reflected on the circles and ripples, today you drop your pebble in the pond, and those ripples grow forward from today. The last thing I wanted to say as I walk away from today, and as you come up on stage, we will continue to anticipate and expect you to bring the same energy, thought, intelligence, and integrity to your work going forward. I will just say on a side note, you've already demonstrated tremendous decision-making skills. CO Christ, that was an excellent speech. And I think that kind of teamwork is really what you're going to need. But we anticipate you bringing that level of care, that level of appreciation forward every single day. So with that, I want to thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Secretary. We will now begin the certificate presentation, which will be followed by the professional oath administered by Travis Head.
First rule, attention. Right face.
Rules, Bazille. Jeremiah Bigramana. Ethan Buckman. Joshua Call. Marin Couture. Noah Desatel. Michelle Grady. Dylan Guerin. Kenneth Haslett.
Attention. Right face.
Timothy Hinckley. Alan Holder. Colby Johnson. Evan Jules. Cheyenne Price. William Kulzowski. Darren Lakis. Josiah Lance. Bradley Lazard. Michael Lee. Samuel Lena.
Right face.
Latoya Letman. Sarah Lewis. Alicia Martin. Justin McClone. Ashley Morrill. Connor O'Neill. Joseph Ortiz. David Orvis. Kyle Haas-Passell. Nathaniel Shadow. Kyle Trout. Gregory Bayou. Gracie Welch.
Attention.
Everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. I
I
acknowledge this oath, the badge of my profession,
acknowledge this oath and the badge of my profession
as symbols of the public trust in my ability and commitment
as symbols of the public trust in my ability and commitment
to provide for the public safety as a professional correctional officer.
to provide for the public safety as a professional correctional officer.
I agree to maintain the highest ethical standards
I agree to maintain the highest ethical standards
and serve the Vermont Department of Corrections to the best of my ability.
and serve the Vermont Department of Corrections to the best of my ability.
I freely accept this responsibility
I freely accept this responsibility
and swear to uphold the humanitarian and legal principles
and swear to uphold the humanitarian and legal principles
of the corrections profession throughout my career.
of the corrections profession throughout my career.
This concludes our ceremony. You're invited to stay for refreshments following the conclusion of the ceremony. Also take the opportunity to stop by the family support table in the lobby and learn about our great family support team. Congratulations to the 172nd. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would please rise if you can and begin the class procession.
Paul. Right face. Carrie. Colors. Left face. Forward. Mark. Forward. Mark.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 172nd Vermont Correctional Academy.